Right, right.
Uh,
Want to say, Kalalal Yahweh,
Yahweh
Yahushai,
Hashem Yahushai,
Basha
Hashem
Mokotash.
Kodash,
I say double honors to the elders of GMS that rule well.
Khan.
Want to say, Shalom and salutations to the brothers in all corners of the earth that pushing in this word, in truth and in sincerity, day in, day out, in season, out of season.
Khan.
You know what I'm saying? I am Brother Manatesak of GMS Trinidad East.
And I'm brother Yaraba. I keep saying right. Said it last time. I'm brother Yaraba. Just say I go through a few precepts, entitled in the video, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. It at times with a song to men like a broken record, but we know these things are some of the principal things that you just had to remember when it comes to these scriptures. You understand things like humility, faith, all these different things. Because all these things is actually kept to keep you centered, that you don't become proud, that the most I will stop working with you. Because a lot of men who just follow the truth does be why, because they just get puffed up. You understand? Being in a certain position that they're in, or having a certain amount of knowledge that they have.
And,
You understand? Or even having material things in the world, and it has caused them to get puffed up and
and,
think of themselves more highly than they should,
mhm,
which is something that the scriptures just speak against. You know, a big difference between being confident and being arrogant or being
and,
proud. And sometimes that they have a fine line between them that sometimes it'll be very difficult to tell the difference. So that a man might think he's confident when really and truly being proud. Understand? Um, I'll start off with the scripture. It said Ecclesiasticus 3. I'll start from 17. Yeah, properly, right?
Go ahead.
All right, it said, my son, go on with thy business in meekness.
Mm-hmm.
So shall thou be beloved of him that is approved. You understand? Because that what the most high is delighting. A man who humble, who meek. All right, to say, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. And there's something you see in many different places. They say, verse 19, they say, many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek.
And,
And you'll see very often you'll go through situation that has actually try that meekness that you have. You understand? Cause you to malfunction. So even trying to keep a humble state of mind when you're going through affliction is a challenge by itself.
and,
You understand? That you don't lose it and go and do something that's not expedient. So we all know a lot of these jakes out here. They will start off being humble until affliction hit them, and then you'll see them going and get jarry. You understand? Or some kind of foolishness because they just can't deal with the affliction,
and,
and they just can't be humble while actually going through it. And they talk about that in the same, and the thing is the church chapter before that, Ecclesiasticus 2. Say jump into my head. Say just Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 4 is say, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
mm-hmm.
You understand? You're supposed to keep that level mindedness that you don't actually go and do something unexperienced and depart from the Lord. You understand? Which is be a trial by itself. Any precepts?
It's have a precept I'm looking for, but I have a next precept there.
Go ahead, go through any ready. If not, I'll go bring one.
So, I think is Mark.
By the meantime, I will bring this one.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It said there's say that James 4 verse 6, it say, but he giveth more grace. Say, wherefore he saith, power resisted the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
Can.
So that different places, even a lot of different places that they show you that the Lord actually don't deal with the proud. And there's something that used to go back even to the time of Moses. You understand the Lord? Because before the Lord actually started work with that man, he had to humble him.
Can.
Because the Lord can't deal with proud men. You understand? He's the only high person here in the group. You understand? You can't wanna feel like you're up there with he.
Can.
You understand? It's that time as just was asking him a set of questions and he started to get overbearing. And
Yeah.
he answered him some
Many
answers and
place.
right. And the angel had to hit him some parables and
Yeah, let him know hey, some things above your understanding.
yeah. You had to put him in the place, cause really and truly, you had to know your level.
Can.
Right? Say this Deuteronomy 8 verse 2, right? It say, and thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee. You understand? And to prove thee. And that's something he is doing even now. He has put you situations to humble you and to prove you. Right? It said to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. Because really and truly, for a man to be able to keep the Lord's ordinance while he going through heavy affliction, that by itself is humility. A lot of people don't have that level of humility. So I talk about with the sower, is say as persecution arise for the word's sake, it say immediately they are offended. Let us depart, because they can't be humble in that state of affliction.
Can.
And I something the Lord does do to us even today. He has built we up and then afflict us. All lies are part of the process. It's not an easy process, but it's a part of the process. It said to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. So all I go back to what? The fire. And you see a lot of men that just jump out the pot when that time come. They just can't take that heat. Like them frogs, as they realize that the jump in a hot something hot, they just jump straight back out.
But not knowing they're going from bad to worse.
Can I say all you saying is go is is fresh out the frying pan and into the fire.
Yeah, yeah, can.
The jump out the frying pan not knowing that the fire right outside.
Yeah.
You find any precept in Mark?
No, not in Marcus, Matthew. Matthew 11 and 11.
Uh-huh.
Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman, there had not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. You understand? So basically what it's saying is that among men that born of woman, among the flesh, that here, the terrestrial, you understand? Yeah, terrestrial, right? The
Mm.
terrestrial. At that point in time, it had none greater than John. And at the end of the day, the least man, as in the least, but I don't even know how to explain how the least in the kingdom of heaven is. You understand? He's still greater than John. You understand? Because
Can
two different weights are glory. You understand? So the meekness you're showing here go get a heavenly glory.
can are we working towards?
That way you're working towards. So always remember, no matter how much glory you might attain or how much as it with authority you might have on the earth, remember that this is nothing. It is
Can
nothing, and it could be taken away faster than you get it.
can
Faster than you get it. If you need to, let me gosh, just saying. Let we say men used to live like how they used as long as we used to long time, and in the truth 100 years. But all it take is about 5 minutes for all that to just wipe away.
can
You understand? You become a reproach unto the ministry.
And waiting to receive a worse condemnation.
Can, because you know, and according to Hebrews, you understand, if you know the truth and you still continue to sin, there remaineth no more grace.
I think
You
that one
understand?
is in Peter.
The open indignation, and you'll die in the presence of two or three witnesses.
I remember that one. Yeah, that is
Yeah, that
that Hebrews 10.
yeah, Hebrews 10, 10:27, I believe.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
understand?
that one there.
Brother,
So there's Romans 12 verse 3. It say, For I say, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. You understand? Like you know a scripture in I think it's Ephesians where it say if a man thinking himself to be something when he's nothing,
mm-hmm.
he deceiveth his own self. You know, just
And,
paraphrasing. That is show you how much the scripture just emphasize on not thinking too highly of yourself because that by itself is a stumbling block unto men. Right?
mm-hmm.
Right. Right. That not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, so that clear mind, according as power had dealt every man the measure of faith. You
And,
understand? And that's really what the scriptures recommend of you. Not another thing, right? I said this and I said that. And I so good in breaking down. I supposed to be why I had to be this level. Yeah, this you know that kind of mentality.
mm-hmm.
You know, you're not supposed to have that kind of trailer thought. You understand? Because the scriptures talk about the body and the ministry and so forth. Even though you mightn't be in the highest position, you're still doing the work. You understand? Whether it is the hand, the head, or just the big toe. You
And,
understand? You have your part to play and your business to do. You focus on what it is you're supposed to do. Right? Any more precepts there?
but it's how one that I bring out already that me, but
You can paraphrase it.
yeah, it basically saying take heed to where when you think you stand it. Oh yeah,
Like
not fine.
First
First
Corinthians
Corinthians
10,
10,
12.
12. Yeah, I got it, I got it. I'm say, wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
Okay.
You understand? And that and basically it all goes back into examining yourself now, eh? You understand? According to right, putting yourself under the scopus.
Okay.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, it's just you and the spirit moving on. You understand? But your brothers might not always be around, elders might not always be around. So you have to know what you're doing. And when you think nobody, I go see the scripture say, the Father is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You understand?
Okay. If I could say also, I could also I also just say, for example, even though all are we on the same journey, we walk in different roads.
But
You understand?
can,
In terms of you had to keep yourself in a gear. It's not
can,
because you're in a brotherhood that mean that whole brotherhood will get through. Every man have his individual journey to take. You
can,
understand?
can. Say, seek your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Can.
You understand? So basically, always keep yourself under the scopus. Make sure you doing what you need to do according to the scriptures. You understand? And complete your whole duty as a man. Fear the Most High and keep the commandments. You understand? And the scriptures even go to say, no commandment is grievous. You understand? Because at the end of the day, these things is for you to live here in a way that in a way that you might make it to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? And that's still a great glory. Just to make it up in itself is our glory.
Can.
You
I
understand? So
agree.
it's much best to make it as the least. Just the cornerstone that the builder refuse. Right? The least.
Happy something already.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says there's Matthew 18 and start from 1, right? It said at the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? So Yahushua called the little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Hmm.
Alright? Say verse 4. It say, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? But with everything, it does have balance, which is a next stumbling block onto people. Being humble don't mean you're gonna let people walk over you and you're gonna be a yes man and everything you're gonna wanna be soft and effeminate for. You understand? Because scripture also say an effeminate shall not enter the kingdom. You understand? When I talk about being humble, it have balance to these things, knowing how to weigh judgments, when to
Can,
show mercy, and how to chill out, especially when it comes to things like reproof and correction and so forth.
can.
You understand? You don't know
As,
how to balance these things.
as
Go
you
ahead.
say about being a effeminate now, but you understand? I wanna say this so brothers go understand something, right? We understand a effeminate man to be a more emotional man, right? Fair enough? Agree that?
Well, if I'm in a different version, if I'm in like Macomb, I kind of
Well,
girly.
yeah. Well, alright, let me change my words. You understand?
We could pull it up and you have a laptop. We could pull up a definition and read it.
Yeah.
Read it for the viewers.
You go still see me, right?
Huh?
You seeing me there?
Yeah, senior.
Alright, good. I'm gonna look for the
Yeah, look for our definition. Pull it up and read it for the viewers. Nobody can say we make it up nothing.
alright, feminine, right? Having feminine qualities untypical of a man, not manly in appearance or manner.
Anything else, huh?
Yeah, it's saying marked by unbecoming delicacy or over refinement, effeminate art. And that basically something totally different, but we're talking about like the
Being
main,
being
yeah,
like a woman.
yeah, basically being like a woman, right? So we know women are emotional creatures, right?
That one of the
The main
strongest
thing,
feministic traits.
yeah, the emotions are them, right? Them let the emotions override the logic.
Can
So anger is an emotion.
can
You understand? So there are certain instances where I just watch brothers get angry and just run with it and be
can
like, but and always the same ones that we saying don't be emotional, right? Anger is not emotion then.
can. If supposed to use judgment in balance in all
Exactly.
things.
That is discernment because the word discernment means to judge correctly or rightly, uprightly. You understand? That you have to use discernment. Not because you're angry, you go act out on anger. You understand? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that, you know. That's all I wanted to
Yeah.
say. I said to bring it up, man.
All these things just go hand in hand when it comes to the scriptures. You understand? When it comes to growth, because really and truly, you have a reason. Well, one of the reasons why the Lord does afflict you so much when you grow in knowledge is because He don't want you to get puffed up to the extent that He can't work with you no more. That He had a scripture. I don't remember exactly where it is. It was one of the prophets and he had a thorn in the flesh. You understand? He prayed, like, move this thing, the hell. You understand? Like, remove this thing. He say not once, twice, but 3 times. And the Lord tell him it is sufficient for thee. Like, you are the whole lot. You understand? It ain't going away. You are the whole lot. And
Con-
those things used to happen to him. Why? To keep him humble. So even when you're going through affliction, even though it might hurt like shit, mightn't be the easiest thing to go through. A lot of the time, the Lord doesn't know why He putting you through that, and a lot of the time it is be because, hey, if he just hire real comfortable here and gain you all the money you want to hire, you have 3 and 4 wives, you know what is the place to go?
God, you enjoying yourself? You enjoy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you good here. You living it up. You popping champagne bottles on your wives, and then you don't have time to wait for no chariots. So
God,
that have a reason why the Lord has put you through these things. You understand? Even though at the point in time you might not always see it, in that manner. When I try to get in licks, you don't always understand why, while the belt hits in here, you don't always see the brighter side of the logic.
mm-hmm.
You understand?
After you get
Yes.
your licks,
Yeah,
but
after you get your legs and you calm down, then you just see it. But at the point in time when the belt on the back, you don't be quick to see the logic behind it. You just in pain, and that is all you see at the point in time. But
but
really and truly,
sometimes it's years after when you get a tune up, you say, but boy, thank God they beat me, because if they didn't beat me, boy, if I
exactly.
didn't go through that affliction, what would I end up doing now? Where would I be now?
Because that when you grow, just like little children, it's only when they get big that they understand that. When you grow,
Exactly. Exactly. I have a precept for you.
good.
Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of power, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and
Can
suffering.
can.
You understand? But here what you say, put on therefore as the elect of power. Understand?
So they
As
traits
the
that the elect
elect.
supposed to have.
Exactly. Walk as the elect. This how you gonna know you're making the election sure, because it have a scripture that say make your election sure. And
Can.
these is the traits you have to make sure you possess. Holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, patience. You understand? Patience as well as basically long suffering.
Which is
Humble
what you
of mind.
and you ain't going to escape that because all of that is a part of the fine tuning.
Can. You understand?
Hey, but like when you're tuning that guitar, you want to make sure you play it making the right notes. No key must be off.
Can.
So, I have a precept here. It says, First Peter 5, I'll start from 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
It said, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that by itself is humility,
Can.
right? It say, yea, all of you be subject one unto another. Because now my elder supposed to think too high of himself also. He's supposed to remember that at the end of the day, he's another brother. Like even though he might be the authority figure,
He's still a servant.
he's still a servant of your brothers also. So it have a balanced state. You understand? It have a balance. You just have to be able to discern and weigh that balance out in the correct way. Right? Because let me say if for example you on the lowest chain and you talking to Ella and you do something off, you're like, that was wrong by her. But yeah, what going on? Go and talk to second in command, and he go talk to me. Cause either way, that kind of attitude. because you don't like the correction. Either don't, yeah, what going on, right? And thing because you can
Yeah.
realize when you're telling them is correct.
Because you is the lowest and blah blah blah, etc.
Yeah, you mustn't correct him on the way to go. Yeah, what going on? Go and talk to second, and then he go come to me and. That kind of attitude, like he's the president and you have a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta schedule to come and meet you. You gotta always keep a humble mind at the end of the day. You know?
Can.
Right, must you reach? Right.
You can read it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, right over. I say, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another. and be clothed with humility. For power resisted the proud and giveth grace unto the humble. You
Con.
understand? I had many examples of great men who used to do these kind of things. Like the time when the man went and fell big stone at David Wall. You understand? The man tripped off and gone and fell big stone at David Wall. And David could have put him up to there. You see, allow him. You understand? He take the humble route and say, you know what, allow him. You might be vexed for some shit for this. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You show him mercy. All lies humility by itself. If you had a proud spirit, you say, I'm on my wall, go and tie him up.
Yeah.
You know, you understand? All them men used to show different traits of humility and mercy. You understand?
Con.
So they verse 6 will say, um, they say, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of power, that he may exalt you in due time. And we waiting for that exaltation. You understand? We waiting to kneel down and receive that crown. But no man ain't going you ain't gonna get that crown if 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 you wanna feel like you tall just like the man getting you the crown. You understand? Like I come and pop in your chest, yeah, we're going on look me here. I want mine first. You know that kind of attitude? You quite down in the back, you're stretching out your hand, you're going, yeah, you know. I work harder than he, you know. I want my mines. You understand? You can't have that kind of proud spirit.
Con. Our
Nice.
precept there.
Good.
James 4 and 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh, and he shall lift you up. The same thing as the Peter 5 and 6.
Can
You understand?
uh,
Humble yourself before the Most High, and he will give you all your exaltation as need be, as he see fit.
can
You understand? However, when you get that exaltation, you still have to remain humble. Don't feel like a pass.
Alright, there was a good example of way that I just say. Um on it is I think it's John 10, because you already truly Lord I will exalt you for all your works. You
Huh?
understand? You supposed to, even Yahushua himself, he didn't come here to exalt himself. You understand? He said, Father, glorify me. You understand? I have glorified thee. He waited and he worked and he waited for his glorification. He
Can.
didn't come here and say, here we're going on. I exalt the king. Do I tell you to do? You know, that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
He didn't come trying to pull rank. You
But,
understand? He was none that. He came humble, riding on a donkey. You understand? He didn't come on a chariot with spinners. You understand? Bling out with chrome. No, he was humble. And that's the same kind of attitude you're supposed to have. Let's see, I feel this look. I feel this look. I feel this look. I like that scripture. I wanna find it. Uh, I think I find it. Right. Right. It says there's Luke 10. I'll start from 19. It says, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Right? It say, notwithstanding in notwithstanding in this rejoice not. You understand? So don't be really being high minded about it. It say that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
can.
You understand? So they show you, like I say, all over in the scriptures, they show you how important it is to be humble. When you start thinking like you is shit, you'll become shit. And you might see in a video on YouTube eating cat shit. You understand? You know? You understand? That is not something to look forward to. I saw that video. I was not it wasn't funny up to that point.
Well, I didn't see that video.
Yeah, I saw it. It up to that point it wasn't funny. To know that could happen there, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny up to that point. That point it wasn't funny. You don't want to end up like these guys who end up being proud and Lord discard them. And then they end up and none of them just end up hearing anything nice about them after.
Um,
You understand? And that is just for now. In time of destruction, again they're going to feel it. And then on the next side they'll be in shame again. That is like it's like a perpetual, that is not something to look forward to. You had to answer for it here and then you had to feel shame across there. You
hmm,
understand? You don't want to go through something like that. You always pray that the Lord always help you to keep humble. Even though it has had things that will come about to try it to cause you to not be humble very often, but it has had to try. Even when it comes to simple things, things like taking correction, you understand, things like certain things you're supposed to do. Always try to be humble and accept it. You understand? Because most of these things is before what you're good. You understand? No brother ain't gonna come just and tell you, hey, what's going on? Go and buy 2 burgers somewhere with your money. You tell them, no, hey, you ain't humble or what? It wouldn't be something like that. You understand, bro? Brothers will usually tell you to do things because it convenient for your spirit.
um,
You understand? Because it help to build help to keep your mind centered. And even though it mightn't be written for you to do it, just like what the elders just talk about with the videos, even though it mightn't be written, true wisdom, is something that you should hearken to.
um,
You're supposed to use that discernment and be humble about it because there's no one our brother actually seeking your best interests. Through the spirit, there's no. Not because you don't have to do it, that don't mean that you shouldn't. And that by itself is a humble mindset.
um,
Uh-huh. Yeah, any more precepts?
no,
Oh, you'll tend today. Yeah, you're close off about yourself.
uh, we give all praises to the Most High.
Hi.
Shoah,
Yawa
Basham,
Basham Yahushai Basham
Basham, Kodash.
Rakakwadash
Double honors to the elders of GMS that we well.
Khan
I say shalom and salutations to the brothers in the four corners of the earth, pushing this word in truth and sincerity, in season, out of season, day in, day out. Never letting that light go dim.
Khan
They carrying the oil, they stocking up on the oil,
Khan
and doing what needs to be done to make the election sure.
Khan.
To all the brothers, we say shalom.
Shalom.